Welcome to Acquired Taste Podcast. We're back. I am awake from a coma.
I feel like we haven't recorded in weeks.
We caught it last minute. We were supposed to double record last week.
Yeah, we were.
I fell asleep twice, both times.
Mm-hmm.
Both episodes.
Yeah.
Is actually, this is the reason why we record so many episodes in advance, because like when like DJ pulls a DJ, we
DJ.
Now, if you guys know me, if you know me personally, you know I am quite infamous for just doing a no call, no show
on life.
on everything. Yeah, I could be like in the midst of texting you, and be like, "Cool, I'll be there soon," and I will fall asleep.
You've done that to me several times.
I'll do that 3 minutes later. Yeah.
Several. I remember we had plans to hang out one night, and it's like, all right, man, meet me this time. Like, actually, give me half an hour more. I need time to get ready. You know, whatever. That in that half an hour time frame, you went from meeting me out for some drinks to being asleep and me not hearing from you
Unconscious.
for the next like 2 days.
This is another thing that you and Melina have in common, because
Yeah.
Melina does the same thing.
Oh, God.
Like, she'll literally text me and she'll be like, "I'll be on my way in 5 minutes. Be ready in 5
Yeah.
minutes."
Just give
And like
yourself a 3-minute window to
an
relax.
hour and a half later, I'm like, "Hello, where are you?" And she's like, "Shit, I fell asleep."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, real quick.
Well,
And-
that she has a habit of falling asleep everywhere she is, anyways.
Yeah.
Like, if you give her like 5 minutes where you're not engaging with her, she'll be in a ball on a couch somewhere
Yeah.
sleeping.
That's why she doesn't stop talking to people, because if she does, she's unconscious.
So it's like a shark when it stops moving, it just fucking dies.
Yes.
Might have narcolepsy.
Maybe.
Might be a thing, you know?
I don't know, man.
Because like every time I
If
wake
you've-
up from one of these slumbers, I feel like I had slept way too long. Like it's been days later. Or I think I'm late for work or some shit, you know? So I wake up in a panic.
Well, to our listeners that don't know who we're talking about, I'm sure you all have friends in your lives that remind you of this. And if you do, just keep them engaged. They might have narcolepsy. They might be
Just talk to him.
just poke at them here and there.
Shout out to
They'll
my
be fine.
fellow narcoleptics.
Indeed. Well, welcome to the Acquired Taste Podcast. As you always say, we are back. Tech Daddy, Deej, B. We're back.
We are back.
The three of us. Because it's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
well,
been a
you've been
while.
on vacation.
I did. I went on vacation.
So, you know, you were on vacation then twice. I know, you were on vacation once.
Just
And
once
then you had
for me.
work once, I think. Because
Yeah.
me and Deej had 2 episodes together, back to back, where you were not there to supervise us.
Yeah, I think I had a work thing. What?
Like some gala or something. You always go to these fancy work events,
Yeah,
I feel like.
sometimes.
Must be fucking nice. I mean, not for you. I mean,
It is, because I have to buy an outfit to wear to these things, and I can't outfit repeat because I'm not going to explain it. But
Ooh, I do that shit all the time.
habitually, actually.
Yeah, if I know
Yeah.
only a couple of the homeboys seen me and I'm going somewhere else, I'm like, I don't.
well, we usually will take pictures at these things and like post
Oh.
them, and they get used for various purposes. So like if
hmm
it's a girl thing.
Yeah, because like being a dude, I can have like it's like 2 or 3 different pairs of like dress pants,
Yeah.
and then like 20 different shirts,
Yeah.
and I have a multitude of outfits from just that,
Yeah.
from just that little bit.
As much
of
as
clothing.
I want to like protest the working conditions in China of like Shein and stuff, I really can't, because I can't afford nicer clothes.
Jeez,
So I have
it's
to
a vicious cycle, really.
It really is. So I have to get these like, Temu dresses or whatever and wear those to the galas that I have to go to. But it's fun. It's usually a good time. There's usually an open bar. So
Well, I would fucking hope so. You made me like come deal with office people on non-office hours. I'm gonna need some kind of incentive.
Maybe dress up like it's fucking Easter.
Yeah, right, jackasses.
Like-
Place, like,
Well, I mean, that's the benefit about me working for a corporation like I do. Like, we don't do those. Like,
I mean,
never
technically I work for a corp.
seen my coworkers in person. I actually have no idea what my boss looks like.
Really?
I have never seen what my boss looks like.
You don't get on like Zoom calls or anything?
We don't use cameras,
Really?
really.
Weird.
I mean, I'm okay with it.
it's kind of cool. He's like, what's Iron Man? His the name?
Jarvis?
Jarvis.
Yeah, Jarvis. Yeah. Your boss
Yeah.
is like Jarvis.
Yeah, kinda.
Just like faceless
Mhm.
entity.
He's a fucking
Yep.
AI. Is what he is.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay with it. Yeah, my coworker, they have my stock office photo that I took fucking 7-8 years ago now. They have that to look at, which doesn't look like me anymore, which is even funnier to me. So that's cool. But
Yeah, never change that.
yeah, no, I wear glasses and I'm black. That's all you get from my, that's what you.
Community involvement is very important at my job. So we're
There's
all
too
like
many of us.
expected to like do things in the community.
Yeah, I mean, I can volunteer with my community and they'll pay me for it.
Yeah, we get
I get like 40 hours a month, I think, for volunteer work.
we get something similar.
Something like
I don't
that?
know
I can't
exactly
remember.
what it is, but
I've never used it. I wanted to one day
I used
But-
mine last year, I think.
and like volunteer, for something
Yeah. Well, I'm always
charity, probably
I-
involving animals. I hate kids.
and that's like another thing about my job is like they have all these initiatives that they donate to, but they don't ever donate to animals because they're like, well, we want to support people. And I'm like,
Well, it's kind of in the name.
shh, don't be exposing me like this.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
that's funny.
Aaron.
There's several of them. That's fine.
Yeah, that's true. We passed one in Tennessee and Melina's like, hey. And I'm like, nope, that's not us.
Ain't it. Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't say I hate kids. I don't hate kids. I just wouldn't volunteer to be around them.
Yeah.
So, but animals, oh fuck yeah! Let me take care of some dogs or something.
Yeah,
Some
there's
cats.
like a humane society event coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Stuff is cool.
I'd do that.
Stickers for it.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
We need more
Nice.
stickers.
We do need more stickers.
Yeah,
I'm gonna work on that. Anyways, for those that are just joining us, what was the Required Taste podcast? We used to talk about history,
Yeah. Well,
or just some weird shit.
Yeah, we just
that-
like to fuck around and find out,
Yeah, usually we try to keep to the facts, but you're gonna catch at least like about 15 minutes of us just kind of bullshitting,
Yeah.
like you kind of just did. It was only 7 minutes. So
So if you are new, you got about 10 minutes to go, and we'll get you some information.
we'll get you with the information that you came here for. But
Hold tight.
well, I mean, I've heard mixed reviews. Like some people love the banter that we do. Some people are like, I kind of skip
Yeah.
it. But you can at least skip. I mean, it doesn't last more than a couple minutes. So like, you
Yeah,
know.
it varies for
Get to
me
the meat.
because like when I listen to podcasts, if it's funny, like I'm gonna listen to it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like if it's like a straight informational podcast, like I'm skipping that first. Whatever the fuck bullshit you're telling me.
So whatever you guys do, we hope
Sometimes
that
it's-
you at least enjoy us. The information or the bullshit or both. So,
Well, I think hopefully pretty soon at some point we can segment the bullshittery out into its own thing, right?
yeah, we have some plans here. We're actually getting close to one of our goals. We're actually just hit a milestone recently, so I want to say thank you to everybody that's been supporting us from the jump. I mean, we've been around for a little over a year and a half now.
Oh yeah,
Been doing this,
yeah.
and
give it a
we
little applause for that one.
we are well. Hey, let me do the rest of the
you gotta-
information.
Yeah, that's right.
Damn it.
Yeah. What's the
Anyways,
milestone?
I was so excited.
The milestone, we actually are now over 5,000 streams. We've been streamed over 5,000 times now. And again, like that is all, of course, thanks to all of you for the support that has been here either from the beginning or that's new. Actually, we're over 5,100 now. So sorry about that. We actually hit the 5,000 mark, I think like a week ago, but still.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so that is all, of course, thanks to you all for listening to us, for sharing us, and for supporting us. I mean, like we still get support this in person to this day, so we appreciate it. So for you all, that's you, that's us, applauding you. Yes.
The one guy screaming gets me every
Yeah.
time. He's like,
Drunk as fuck. That makes the whole thing. The
Well, I mean,
drunk
how do you
guy.
even hire for that? Like, all right, we need people to simulate being
Everybody
excited and applause
cheer.
about something, and then you have that one dude in the back
Yeah, they.
who's like way too excited.
who's, I mean, I'm actually shirtless,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
obviously.
His face is like half blue, half white or something.
Yeah, good
He
times.
was just watching like sports on the TV.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Recording. That's the only reason he was screaming.
Hell yeah. But still, the point still stands. So thank you all for the support. I know we say it all the time, but we do actually mean it. So we're gonna keep saying it.
Yeah, and those of you who've been here since the beginning, since day one, sound off. I don't know, somewhere, comments, message us. Something.
The day ones.
Yeah,
The day ones.
Mhm.
Yep.
We wanna give you guys a special shout out. So
Yeah.
identify yourselves on our socials.
Show yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Let yourself be heard. But yeah, we appreciate that. So I just want to give that little segue into, again, like what we've been up to. For those that are new, for those that have been here from the jump, we do appreciate it. It's been a journey, and we're not done yet. So, suppose we should upgraded our equipment too. Like,
Oh yeah, now we can
with that new.
do some cool stuff, some cooler stuff.
Oh yeah, we have plans, big plans,
We got ideas and stuff. We've been thinking.
big ideas.
You know,
Aaron can burp in my ear in like super high quality
In
sound.
4K. I actually just held a burp in. Actually,
surround sound
so
right there.
I made chili. It was delicious. It was really good. Anyways, segueing into what we got going on today, we always do start off our podcast with a question. And this one, I actually have the question. So, hooray for this for me.
Indeed, thank you for that.
Indeed. So, what are your favorite alien movies? Like, what's your favorite alien-based movie or a movie with alien in it, if you will?
Brandy, do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I mean, mine's kind of boring, so I guess I can go first. Probably, probably classic Signs.
Signs, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
All right.
I forgot about that. That's a good ass movie.
yeah, it is.
forgot
I think
about
it's like really underrated sometimes.
Signs, was that the one where they came to, where was a radio broadcast? Or which one am I thinking
No,
of?
Are you thinking of War of the Worlds?
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, War of the Worlds.
Yeah, no. Signs is M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, okay.
And it's Joaquin Phoenix, where he's got the tinfoil hat.
Oh, I've seen. I've never seen it, but I've seen.
You ever seen Signs?
Mm-mm. No, I
I'm not
missed it.
Shakira. I had to get that.
I don't like M. Night Shyamalan. I really don't like it. I just don't like him. Like
Okay, but he's
back
got
then, he was good.
Dude,
He's
Lady in
got-
the Water. That's a good movie.
Lady in the Water is good. Okay, controversial opinion here. I like The Village.
Village
I know
was
a
good,
lot of
too.
people. Thank you.
I love The Village.
I feel like a lot of people hate on it so bad, but I
Yeah.
thought it was good. I thought the vibe was really weird. I
Yeah.
liked it a lot.
and the twist at the end, of course, is like signature thing.
What's that twist?
Yes.
But like I don't know. I thought it was perfect for that movie.
I thought so too.
Yeah, I thought I think everyone's always expecting.
Yeah.
The big dramatic thing.
But that was kind of early M. Night Shyamalan. So
Yeah.
it was like you weren't so expecting it as much.
Yeah, that's true. And that was like 90s, right? Or maybe it was like early 2000s.
Or early 2000s, I think.
2000s, yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I never saw it though. Never bothered you
Yeah.
because I wasn't really like a.
You got to see Signs. Well, I guess okay. So I feel like a lot of Signs there wasn't like so much the oversaturation of like alien stuff, because like just that one moment where the alien walks by and you see
Yeah.
it and you're just like, whoa.
The mystery of it, yeah. That's the coolest part. Just the suspense
Yeah.
of the whole fucking movie.
It's very suspenseful. It's very
Yeah.
like on the edge of your seat, kind of.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You should see it. I feel like I've recommended so many movies to you, and you're always like, I'm not gonna watch that. Don't even bother recommending it
about
to
it.
me.
Remember that time I told you to watch Star Wars?
I'm willing to watch Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
We're gonna have to do some movie nights here.
When I move, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have more space for
Yeah, you
it.
get a
I'll have the apt.
Mm-hmm.
Probably gonna buy a bigger TV.
Yeah, a little theater room or something like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
Dope.
thing. I'm gonna spend a lot of money on a lot of dumb shit when I buy a house. It's gonna be wonderful.
I
We
fully
should do
support
like
that.
required taste movie reviews.
I mean, that could be on our Patreon kind of deal there, or
That's a goddamn idea right there.
yeah, there we go. Write that down.
Yeah, put that on the list.
Yeah, if you guys ever listen to the podcast closely enough, you probably heard me say like, write that down.
Yeah,
And that's always a DJ because he has like the master list of all of our ideas.
And I actually do write it down.
he does.
Because if we don't write it down, we're gonna fucking forget it.
He's got his
So-
phone right now. He's putting it in.
Oh yes, it's literally if we don't do it, we're gonna forget it.
I'm
It's
just like,
happened.
texting somebody. I'm not even like,
He's like, yeah, sure, I'll write that down.
fucking losers. Like, I got it. It's in there.
Oh, nice. All right,
Awesome.
all right, Deej. What's your favorite alien based movie?
So that's a good one, dude. I love alien movies. They're probably definitely in like my top 3 favorite genres of movies. So I'd had to pick between 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, number 1, my first instinct would be to say Attack from Mars.
Okay.
That's like that. When I was a kid, that movie was fucking awesome. It's funny. It's the fucking aliens. I love that shit. It had so many good actors in that movie too. Who was the fucking president? Wasn't Jack Nicholson the president?
I think you might have
Yeah,
been.
it was just such a fucking wild movie.
I was in the movie so long, but it's a good one though.
Gosh.
Memories are so foggy.
Yeah, it had
That's a good one.
the singer. You know,
it was-
loved by anyone. What the fuck is his name?
Yeah.
Tom something.
Yeah, I can't remember, dude.
Yeah,
It's been...
super solid fucking movie.
It is a good one.
You know, you really can't beat that one. And then number 2, I'd go Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I saw that coming.
Yeah, that's definitely got to be one of the top ones. And then I'd say like on a more like real level, The Fourth Kind.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
That movie
right.
fucked me up because I almost wanted to say, what is it, Firefly? Is that the movie? Or Fire in the Sky? Or Fire from the Sky? I don't remember what it's called, but it's about the dude getting abducted and they fuck him up.
I don't know. I never watched it.
That movie's pretty gnarly.
Was The Fourth Kind, that was the one that was like kind of like a documentary, but not
Yeah,
really.
they made it look real as fuck.
Yeah,
but it still looked like a movie.
I saw that in theaters.
Real creepy, you know, because it's based on, you know, mostly true stuff. You know, a therapist was in Alaska, you know, trying to help these people that were obviously getting visited at night by aliens, but like violently visited by fucking aliens, to where like when she would be, you know, interviewing them, their jaws would stretch out and break. Real crazy shit, you know.
Yeah.
But that movie made me like scared of fucking aliens. Like,
I remember leaving that movie and being like, Psh, that was so fake.
yeah, they fucked it up at the end too.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
spoiler
ending,
alert.
The
but-
ending kind of fucked it up.
Yeah, when they do all the interviews and the ladies all in like the fucking like
Yeah.
nursing gown, looking all decrepit.
The beginning, I remember the beginning being really good though. I remember liking it a lot
yeah.
until the ending.
Yeah, they kept it really like to where you didn't know. You were like,
Yeah.
fuck, this looks like legit as fuck, you know. But I like movies like that. Like the realer the
I
situation,
do
the better
too.
for
That's
me.
like everybody always hates on Blair Witch. I
Oh,
liked
yeah.
Blair Witch.
The original one, yeah.
yeah.
that one was good.
I
agree
even
with that.
I liked the original Paranormal Activity a lot.
I
'Cause
don't
it
think I've
was,
seen that one actually.
Was
It
that the one in
was-
the house?
yeah, it was the first like CCTV kind of.
Oh, yeah.
like-
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that
Yeah.
one seemed pretty real. And they always seem real in the first film because it's like, you know, indie and whatever.
Right.
And then they make sequels and they fuck it all up. But
Yeah.
They do, and they did.
yeah. But like the original Blair Witch, the original Paranormal Activity, I like those because they seem real. Did you ever watch VHS?
No, I don't think I've seen that one.
Mm-mm.
We
I feel like I've seen clips of it, but I can't picture anything in my head.
It's messed
Let's
up.
see. I'm gonna have to look that one up. I like me some messed up
You would like it.
Sure.
movies.
All right.
what's
So
yours? What do you
alien
got?
movies, you know, is actually is something that I'm surprised you didn't actually say. Because dude, Independence Day.
Oh yeah, Independence Day was up there. I mean,
Like-
Will Smith, fucking rocking that alien.
He punched Chris
Yeah.
Rock. He punched an alien.
Excuse you, he slapped Chris Rock.
True.
Get the lore right.
My bad.
Either way, Will Smith don't give a fuck.
Not one.
He saved the
This
planet.
man punched an alien and smoked a cigar about it. And then dragged it across the desert. Yes.
Talking all kinds of shit.
Bad shit.
That shit just fucking-
Bad shit to it. But yeah, I'm gonna go with that one as my my number one though. I don't know. I just loved it as a kid. I love it as adults.
Yeah.
The second one fucking sucked, but
I never watched the second
I
one.
wouldn't.
Yeah, I blew
Yeah,
right
I don't
past
think
that.
I-
Don't even. They brought the entire cast back except for Will Smith.
Really?
Everybody came back except for Will
Kind of
Smith.
stupid.
Wow.
I don't know if it was I never knew why. I never looked into it as like maybe like a budget thing or something like that, or maybe conflict of another movie that he was
Yeah.
already in or something.
And Will did Men in Black. He's like, I'm tired of doing this alien shit.
And Men in Black was
Sick
my
of
second
aliens.
choice, actually. Men in Black was gonna be my second choice.
oh man, you know what? I should have.
That's
went
a good
with Men
one.
in Black.
Love
a
that
good
movie.
one.
All three of them.
I loved all of them, right?
Yeah.
They're all good.
They're fucking hilarious, man.
Such good movies, such good movies. But yeah, I mean, just something about like the utter hopelessness that we had against aliens when they first made it here.
Yeah.
It seems more grounded to me because they can travel across the galaxy. They're gonna fuck our shit up.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
That
Big time.
independence scene, like, you know, because of course back then there wasn't like internet, so like it was just the previews, and then when you see the build up to it, everyone's on the building, fucking, you know, chair, and just you're dead.
Yep.
You're all dead.
yep.
I love
The
that
dog didn't
shit.
die though. The dog made it.
Yeah, that's true,
The dog made it.
and that's what I'm talking about.
Which that's like a thing that I have to do now. If there's a dog in a movie, I literally have to. There's a website that you can go to. It's like doesthedogdie.com or something.
Oh wow!
So I can find out if the dog lives, and if the dog lives, then I can watch the movie. But if the dog dies, I'm out. I'm not watching it. I still haven't seen John Wick.
Just so you know, Independence Day, the dog does live.
I knew that already.
So you can watch it. Feel free.
I knew
Go
that.
forth.
I knew that one. But
Good dog.
I can't do it.
But yeah. So Independence Day number one.
that was a good
Men in
scene.
Black is going to be number 2.
Does Space Jam count as an alien movie?
We can go with yes.
Good.
Hell yeah.
I mean, because they did. Yeah, they were aliens.
I'm gonna go Space Jam too.
All right.
That's a good one.
Right on. The original.
The original.
Obviously.
Oh God, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
What
And
do you
now that I
this
think
is?
about it, dude, there's so many good fucking. I mean, Alien, first of all.
Keep thinking.
Yeah,
of
I was thinking
more,
about that
yeah.
one.
Yeah, The Thing. That movie's fucking amazing.
Dude, E.T.
E.T.
Come on.
E.T.
Get out of here.
Aliens.
Yeah. This is really an alien movie. But Guardians of the Galaxy, it's not really an alien movie, but that's still.
Well, I mean, it has. They are in. There's aliens in it.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Phenomenal.
That was the first one that I thought of, which
Really?
was Hitchhiker's Guide to the
I love
Galaxy.
good
that
stuff.
movie so
It's a good
much.
movie.
Did you guys ever see a movie? It's an old movie. It's called Flight of the Navigator. So it was like this kind of kids-ish movie in like the early 90s. And it was about this kid who gets like taken aboard a spaceship or whatever. And he comes back and it's like 20 years later or something.
Ooh.
And it is such a classic. And I completely forgot about it for like the longest time. And then it recently was on like Disney Plus or something.
It's
And
on
I was
Disney
like-
Plus. Yeah.
I was like, what is this?
I was looking at
lost
pictures 'cause I'm
my
like-
mind.
You
It looks kind of familiar because
you
it has this thing that talks to him in it, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. I'm looking at pictures. I'm like, I remember this kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, this came out in '86, actually.
Oh, really? Damn. I remember
You-
watching it when I was like really little.
I'm gonna have to watch that one. You
Yeah.
unlocked a core memory for me. Fuck all the answers I just gave you. My number one alien movie is Suburban Commando. But I need you to fucking punch that in.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at this because that sounds familiar, but
Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker,
What?
best fucking alien movie ever.
oh, dude, from the one picture I already seen, I remember this. Actually, I do remember this.
Fucking Hulk Hogan throws a skateboard to fucking Mars.
Yep.
What on
This-
earth is this?
He shows up on
Yep.
Earth. This kid talks shit to him, and he takes a skateboard. He just fucking launches it into space. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah!
is that?
Suburban Commando.
Yep, I do remember this. Actually, I have fond memories of this awful fucking movie.
That's number one. He's an alien that comes to Earth, and then there's a bad alien, which is the Undertaker, the wrestler, who comes, and he's trying to like save Earth,
Yep.
but he gets locked in with this kid who's like this little fucking pussy, you know.
Look at that armor on his junk.
Oh shit!
Gotta have a cod piece.
Yeah, those are the cocaine days for fucking Hulk Hogan.
That was a cocaine days for everybody.
Yeah,
This was-
that's got to be like late '80s, early '90s,
it was 91.
'91. Okay.
91. So yeah, that was prime time. Christopher Lloyd was in it. I forgot about
Christopher
this
Lloyd,
so
fuck
much.
yeah,
Oh
dude.
my god.
Suburban, that's number one for me.
That's
For sure.
good. That's good stuff right there. That is, yep. So if you couldn't tell by our alien banter here, we are going to be talking about the aliens that the UFOs, UAPs that
UAPs.
that Congress recently had a meeting about. I mean, obviously, this thing got memed to fucking death a few weeks ago. We're a little bit behind on it, but it's like the memes like nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah, it's
like
true.
like aliens is this.
And for good fucking reason, too.
I mean, everything else fucking sucks right now. So you're gonna have to give us better news than that. Like, I still have to go to work tomorrow.
It's like, yeah, I
Yeah.
have a mortgage, asshole. I don't
Right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
it's like, okay, my T-Mobile bill's due. Like, so,
Yeah.
like, what are you gonna do about that? Like, nothing. Okay,
Yeah.
fuck off.
Milk's
Yeah.
like fucking $4 a gallon right now. What the fuck you want?
I know. It's like everyone, that was every single meme. If you saw the memes, it was like, oh, aliens exist. I'm homeless, but okay, thank you.
Like, okay, Congress, appreciate it.
Right?
The memes of like you having your own personal alien are my favorite ones. It's like you showing your alien like some band or
Yeah.
Right.
Slipknot or some shit like that. Yeah. I love that shit.
Or like
Yeah.
all the memes that are like, trying to find an alien sugar daddy to get me off this broke ass planet.
The memes were fucking solid. It's like that, and like the memes we have for the Area 51 thing are just those were top
Yeah.
tier.
Oh god.
Those are fucking top
that
tier.
that was a golden time in history.
God, I
Show's getting weird.
The fact that we were alive for that is just amazing to
forget
me.
so much of it. I forgot about
I
that.
know.
Fucking A, man.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Well, that was during a very like jam-packed time.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on.
Well, that was like what 2019, 18,
I think that was 2019.
Yeah, because right
like
before we got locked down.
Right
Before it
before
got
the
started
world
crazy, yeah.
absolutely exploded.
Yep.
That's what they were like, okay,
Again.
these guys are getting crazy. Get the fucking virus out of
Yeah.
here.
They were like, they're
don't
figuring
care
out too
anymore.
much. They're trying to get into Area 51. We got to do something about this.
They don't even have guns. We can't shoot them. Like, what?
They probably would have.
Yeah, not many people showed up. So
No, it was fine.
Yeah.
I just remember like the video of like people in the background just doing Naruto runs. I'm like, oh, like we obviously said our best and brightest.
Those are the kind of people who showed up for the aliens.
So yeah, yes, obviously we said our best and brightest.
So okay. If you guys were to pick one ambassador on behalf of the human race to go talk to the aliens, who would you pick?
Christopher Walken,
Jeff Goldblum.
absolutely.
Jeff Goldblum for me, man.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff
That's
Goldblum,
a
that's a
solid
good one.
Yep.
That's solid.
Yep.
That's a good
I had answered the question like before in my
Really?
head. I was like Christopher Walken, Christopher Walken, Christopher Walken, Christopher Walken. Like,
immediately.
What about you?
What would Christopher Walken sound like
I
talking to
don't
the
know.
aliens?
I haven't done a Christopher Walken impression. I don't know. These guys, these aliens. Why are you here?
What
Are you
do
here
you
for our
want
chickens?
from us?
I have no money. I can't do a good Christopher Walken. His is more like at the end it winds up like he's about to die.
It's a lot going on
Yeah.
there. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot going
A
on
little
there.
too much. If somebody could do a Christopher Walken impression, encountering the aliens for the first time, send us
Yes.
email request.
Yeah, we need a voice clip of that. Like, send us a voice message.
Someone send us a voice message of Christopher Walken meeting the aliens, and we will
Oh.
play it on the podcast.
Can
Yes.
we ask ChatGPT to do that?
Does it do that? I don't know.
Yeah, you can tell it. Like, give me a scenario where Christopher Walken is like greeting an alien.
Yeah, because they
as an
do
ambassador.
like the Johnny Cash version of Barbie Girl,
Mm-hmm. Fucking A.
which is my favorite thing in the universe right now.
Yeah, it's the fact that we have like this new technology and that's what we use it for
Yeah.
is why aliens have not visited us yet. It's
Yeah.
You're
like, oh, they figured out AI. What are they using it for? Oh,
Memes.
come back again
yeah,
later.
like the first 1,000 searches are like how to make your penis bigger or like shit like that.
Obviously. Horrible. Anywho, so like I mentioned before, like Congress did meet about UAPs. They call them UAPs now, by the way.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
Phenomena.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, so UFOs, because we were born in the fucking Okay, I was born in the fucking 80s.
I think.
So,
Why, is there a reason why they've switched to UAPs? Is it because of the negative connotation with UFO? Or
it was either because of that or because the aliens identified as UAPs.
the aliens told us they were like,
Give yourself one for that, man. Come on, you get
Like just a little something.
a little real quick.
there you
I
go.
feel that.
There it is.
So essentially what the hearings were about, they wanted to speak with a few people that have more experience, I guess, like more either firsthand experience or were the head of certain departments that had experience with UAPs, and just to see like what they could do to gather more information about what they've seen. One of the people they met with was David Gersh. He was a combat officer that served during Afghanistan. So, he's been enlisted recently. Well, I mean, that wasn't 20 years ago now. Fuck, I'm old. Anyways, so
Recently,
I'm like, yeah, oh no. Oh no. My gray hairs hurt. Anywho, he was with the NRO, which is the National Reconnaissance Office, and was a rep on the UAP task force from 2021 to 2022. This is also a person who helped write the National Defense Authorization Act of 2023, which is essentially there to give more access or give people that have seen UAPs more abilities to report them. Because before, essentially what was going on, and I mean, we can tell stories and jokes about this all day, but like how many people have seen a UAP or UFO?
Yeah.
Like how many people say like, oh, look at this, like, and the problem because of like the stigma that goes against those people is why some people don't come forward, and that goes into the military as well. So if you're a fighter pilot and you see something that you can't fucking explain on your radar or right in front of you, like you don't say shit about it. It's like, well, I don't want to be the crazy person here.
Well, wasn't it also too like they would have to fill out a bunch of paperwork. They would have to be interrogated. They would have like all this other shit that they had to go through, and they didn't want to go through all that. So they're just like, it's probably a seagull.
It seems like a lot of paperwork. It was a weather balloon.
It was a drone.
Or that, yeah. And I mean, I kind of get it. I mean, because you never know, like, it might have been something, you know, like, oh, it might have been like an enemy plane or some shit that they have that we never seen before. You never know.
Really big cicada.
Oh, God, that's terrifying. Fucking terrifying. Don't ever say that again. They have armor.
They're like flying alligators.
I did say that earlier. I was talking about that earlier. Yeah.
Cicadas are flying alligators?
No, I said that flying alligators were going to kill that dude that was in Australia. That's what it was.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
We'll cross that bridge eventually.
We're gonna get to that. I have more alien questions when it comes to.
So this dude, David Gersh, ended up helping write the National Defense Authorization Act of 2023, which does have rules on reporting UFOs. Including protections for those who come forward about it. So, like I said before, like if you were in the military, you came out saying like, "Oh, dude, like I saw this UFO," you're gonna have, like you said, a shit ton of paperwork, and you're gonna get looked at like you're fucking crazy. So that's two things that nobody really wants in the workplace: is more paperwork and to be that guy in the office. Like, it's Deej. That dude saw aliens.
He's the one who saw aliens.
Drug test.
Drug test.
They're going to drug test me, put me in therapy for 6 fucking months.
Right. It's literally like the dude in Independence Day that was just drunk the entire time.
Yeah, they fucked him up.
Yeah, they did. And they did butt stuff to him.
Yeah, you can't be having sex with aliens.
Unless Captain Kirk. Or Commander Shepard from Mass Effect.
I feel like a lot of people in movies like end up banging an alien.
I mean, I get it.
Oh man,
have you met the women on Earth? Anyways,
hey.
So
I have questions about that, but I'm gonna save it till
we're gonna get there. Yeah. Damn it. Anyways, so it also adds exceptions to NDAs, which again gives them more protections upon coming forward with information they've seen, which is actually pretty cool. We're going to get actually more information, more accurate information coming from these pilots who, I mean, if anybody's going to see some shit, it's going to be somebody in a fucking supersonic jet that's flying way up there or fast enough to even catch some shit like this.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. They also cited high altitude events, high altitude events going back to February as some UFO events. There's actually a list of the events. I am not going to go through all of them because you can look up on the internet. And I don't feel like sitting here reading off a list of things that happened since February. A lot's happened since February.
Oh, yeah.
But that were unexplained. So there's a list on the internet that I found. It's pretty cool. Look it up. So during the hearings, one of the quotes from Representative Robert Garcia, which he was one of the people on the subcommittee that's actually a part of this investigation. So which he said, and I quote, "The sheer number of reports, whistleblowers, and stories of identified anomalous phenomena should raise real questions and warrant investigation and oversight." And that's why we are here today. So that's why they were investigating this. Part of it being, again, oversight as far as financial oversight too. So like, if we were investigating this, where's the money going that we're putting into the investigation? Because you know how America is with fucking spending our tax money. Like they rob us and then fucking just spend it on whatever frivolous bullshit they feel like. This is
like the box that they check for everything that they like don't have a category for. They're like, oh, it's aliens.
Yep.
Spent it on the alien stuff. You know?
Right.
They just have like a dartboard with random shit. They're like,
right. I like the checkbox on it because I mean I've worked for corporate America for a while. There is a checkbox that just probably says that like alien stuff.
Yep.
Check. And it's just like one dude in a room with like playing Pong.
Hey Mark, where'd that extra $3,000 go?
I have
aliens.
Yeah, like a $3,000 Pong table.
Right.
I checked it on the aliens. It's aliens.
Like he bought a new fucking Keurig machine real quick. It's like I have Mocha Choco bullshit now.
There's like a new Nespresso on the
right. Like he's just chilling with a 1980s Pong machine and a very, very new espresso machine.
Oh yeah.
It's fine. He deserves it.
You deserve it, Mark.
Sitting in a room by himself all fucking day.
Don't
Yeah,
let
he does.
anyone tell you otherwise.
He does go on to say UAPs, were whatever they may be, may pose a serious threat to our military or civilian aircraft, and that must be understood. So some of the mentions of going back to what I mentioned before about the high altitude events that date back to February, some of them did involve civilian aircraft. So going through that list of incidents that we have yet to be able to figure out what the fuck they were, some civilians might have been injured in them, some military aircraft might have been lost in them. It's just things that should be avoided, essentially.
Oh my God, aliens are dangerous.
I mean, people flying at the same height as us should be dangerous. Like, whatever the fuck it is.
I never would have thought.
Yeah, I remember watching that, and when they had Commander David Fravor, they were interviewing him, and he's the guy. If you guys have heard of the Tic Tac UFO, he's the pilot that came out about it, seen it. He's been on podcasts. He's done all types of shit over there because this happened like
I don't know, like a long time ago, like 10 years
yeah,
ago.
I want to
Right?
say like
No.
2014 or something like that with a Tic Tac video, somewhere around. I could be wrong.
Now, what's the Tic Tac video again?
So the Tic Tac video was basically Commander David Fravor was running like an exercise, for the Air Force where, they just go out to sea, they do the little practice exercises, come back, and they had encountered quite literally a Tic Tac shaped UFO that was basically appearing in the spots that they were heading to, but at rapid speed. And not only was it doing that, when it was getting in proximity of these jets, it was jamming their radars, which is technically considered an act of war.
Oh, yeah.
And these pilots were encountering this situation, watching this little blip, this Tic Tac, erratically fly around in patterns that aren't known to any
Yeah, it was
aircraft
going
they have.
like up, down, side
Yeah.
to side, like
It was put in a cheat code?
yeah.
Yeah, up, down, left, right.
AB, AB.
The aliens are like, damn, how do I beat this level? So there's got to be a cheat code somewhere.
Oh, whoops.
On cheatcc.com. Figure it out, yeah. So yeah, the Tic Tac video is probably the best physical evidence that there is, or footage of any type of UFO, because it's military radar, and you can it's online. You can look it up. So this thing not only showed up to where they were going to go, so it appears
little guy.
it knows their coordinates.
Oh, yeah, I've seen them before.
Yeah.
So it has the ability to know where they're going to go, jam their radars, and travel. Like they said, I forgot what the statistics were, but it went like 90 miles in like 10 seconds. Just like
Yeah,
that.
it was going like stupid, impossibly fast.
Yeah. And then they said there was a point where it actually seemed to had break the water, and they were speculating, did this thing even come from the water? Because there was no whitewash where the craft was hovering around. So they're like, that's how they had the evidence that there is no propulsion. There's no jet propulsion to
Sure.
it. And they were like, well, we don't have anything like that flies without gas or some kind of something blowing out to push it forward.
Sure.
So yeah, David Fravor was basically, when they asked him if he thought these things were dangerous, and he was like, anything that moves like that is dangerous. He's like, because we don't have anything known, at least in his knowledge, to American military that has anything remotely close to that.
Yeah, totally. We're I mean, again, we can't even travel across the galaxy yet. So, like,
Yet.
Yeah.
yet.
I wish we had the dun dun dun.
Yeah.
That fucking.
Ah, damn it, man.
Can't you pull it up on like YouTube or something and play it?
I can, but the connection to my computer right now is acting kind of funky, so I can't.
Ah, damn it.
Yep.
I don't even know.
Daddy,
What do you
you're
call
failing
that
us.
noise?
Dun dun dun. The dramatic chipmunk.
Yeah, that's what I would look. I would have gone straight to that video. That was my first fucking thought. So I'm like, glad that our brains synced up on that one. Just to give
yeah.
us a little something.
Yeah, we'll work that out. For
Yeah, we're gonna get there. But until then, yep, that's what we got.
Enough.
As a rebound right
So
there.
that's what we have in the meantime.
Hell yeah.
So why have the buttons?
That's a good rebound. Yeah.
Oh goodness. So going on with a little bit more information about what was talked about there. Ryan Graves was another person they had interviewed there actually, which is also another Navy pilot. So what he told the panel was that military pilots do not feel adequately briefed on UAPs, which he said leaves them unprepared to respond to UAP encounters. So pretty much the same situation with the Tic Tac UFO. It's like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck do we do about it?
But like, how do you even brief someone on something like that, though? That's like the thing, because it's almost like so many of these encounters are so vastly different from each other that like you don't know that there's going to be like a little guys like zooming around. Like you don't know that what it's going to look like, what it's going to be like. How do you even? They're like, okay, if you see a UAP. Don't panic.
Well, I mean, or maybe they know something that we don't.
Well, I'm sure they do. So maybe
they probably know a lot of things we don't, honestly. But
this proves that they do.
Yeah, that's exactly. And this was like a kind of a situation to where, like I said, they had jammed their radars. So now this like has to be reported.
Yeah,
it's not even so much as just like everyone's just hearsay and visuals. It's all like on video.
Yeah.
They had like recordings of the pilots like talking to each other, like going like, God dang.
I know. They're like, what is that?
Like freaking
Are
out.
you guys seeing this?
Yeah, and if you see the guy, David Fravor, he doesn't look like he'd be lying.
No. And that's the thing with a lot of these accounts. It's like these high-ranking military leaders are like, going through this whole process to officially report what they're seeing, even though they know that it could be risking their careers, it could be risking their reputations, but they're still coming out with this information. So it's like there's no reason for them to lie about it.
Yeah, there's really not. And their stories have been pretty accurate over the years.
Yeah. Like historically, if you look at it, like UFO, UAP reports, people who come out with stories like this, it's not something that like gets you a ton of clout. It's not like something that like people get like famous and they get like brand deals and like whatever. It's not something like that. It's like, okay, you get a couple talk shows maybe, and then everybody thinks you're crazy.
Yeah, you get harassed. Bob Lazar is the big example of that.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Bob Lazar did love the whores, so that was also a fault. He loved to gamble and he loved the women, so that was part of his downfall. Man. But he was getting like investigated. He opened up like a firework business because he's still a chemist, scientist, whatever he does, and it's like he was still like living, but he still to this day gets fucked with.
Oh yeah,
whether it's by people or military officials, you fucking name it, and who the fuck wants to deal with that for the rest of your life?
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no fucking way.
So it's like, why are you gonna lie about it? Why are you gonna like do that to yourself?
Yeah, and I imagine even if a situation like that came, you think the military would like sweeten the pot a little bit? Like, how you just shut the fuck up and we'll take care of you. Don't gotta worry about nothing.
That Nespresso that you've been looking at?
Yeah. I see you've been looking at this Amazon list here. It's looking pretty big here. Huh? Need a couple things. Yeah, I could see that happening for sure.
Some bacon jerky.
Some bacon jerky.
Somebody wants bacon jerky?
Yeah, about 3 pounds of bacon jerky.
Right. Like, I don't know why. Like my first thought when you mentioned like the like I was trying to sweeten the pie, like, hey, you want to do Fight Against the my first thought was like, you ever saw the movie The Tomorrow War on Amazon?
No.
With Chris Pratt. Came out maybe like 2 or so years ago. Anyways, it's on Amazon. It's actually not bad. It came out in 2021. But that story, the premise of that was actually kind of interesting because we had figured out time travel at that point. But aliens had came in and invaded us and fucked our shit all the way up, which is pretty much every expert's thought on aliens ever is they're gonna fuck our shit up. So like
I imagine like the first guy when he invents time travel, he's gonna portal and he's gonna show up somewhere where there's aliens and they're gonna be like, all right, buddy, welcome to the fucking show. And then they just fuck him up,
so another one. Get him, guys.
Right. So the reason why it's called The Tomorrow War is because like they go back in time. It's like, hey, aliens invaded Earth. We're getting our shit pushed in. We need more reinforcements. So we went back to the past and grabbed people, essentially, to pull them into the future. The twist, it's not even a spoiler because it's like kind of midway through the movie. You figure it out. Also, it's been out for fucking, 2 years already? Figure it out.
I can't believe you've seen that, but you won't watch Signs.
First and foremost, it's Chris Pratt. Get over it.
So?
Anyways.
He was in Jurassic World.
He was in Parks and Recreations.
Okay, he peaked in Parks and Recreation.
Okay, like we're going to sit here and say that Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't a good movie.
Okay, well, yeah, but it was like...
Your logic is like really flawed right now. I'm just poking holes in this shit. This is easy. This is light work for me,
You're
dog.
not going to sit here and convince me that whatever this is better than Signs.
I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying that this is relevant to the conversation.
Whatever. Keep going.
Thank you, madam. Anyways, so
Glad you guys got that out of your system.
right, he's always just big mad, sitting there stewing. She's probably still mad about the comment I made about women on Earth. Anywho, so the thing is that the people that they pull into the future are people that die, essentially. That die either like in the next few years of their life. So it's like either like heart disease or like cancer or something like that. Like, oh, you're gonna die anyways, so come into the future with us to fight this war. It's cool. And that's part of the premise of the movie. Anyways, we get our shit pushed in, whole thing happens, a lot of people die, blah, 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 blah. They're not gonna pick a second one of it. Anywho, I
wonder why.
That was pretty decent. So back to what part of what was thought about with the UFO hearing. So the person I was talking about earlier, also Ryan Graves is the executive director of Americans for Safe Aerospace. So it's just another organization trying to figure out what the fuck's flying up there, so we don't hit it. That'd be cool. I fly a lot. I don't want to. No.
Yeah.
Not like that. Anywho,
you don't want to run into a UFO.
Been a lot of car accidents that I walked away from. I don't think I can walk away from a fucking sky accident.
Oh, how did Aaron die?
Well, heroic as fuck, actually. Killed an alien.
Like if I knew
His plane hit a UFO. his JetBlue flight.
If I knew I was gonna go in a plane crash, man, I would like put my headphones in and I would play Creed, that 6 feet from the edge song.
Jeez.
Just like, sweet death.
I love that you have a plan for that.
Everyone else is
more plan than Congress has, apparently.
Yeah, that's true.
6 feet from you. Shit's crashing, you know? Hell yeah.
Fantastic. The last thing I want to bring up, though, the Federal Aviation Administration has no mechanism for pilots to report UAPs, and instead directs them to civilian groups that are often dismissed as a domain of cranks and conspiracy theorists. And so,
cranks.
That's kind of a dirty insult right there.
It really is.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact that we don't even like there, and this is the Aviation Administration, and I think this was federal, so I don't think it has anything to do with the military aviators. But anyways, it could, whatever. But it's almost just going to civilian groups. Like, so is that like for all pilots? Like, hey, we're not going to give you shit for this, but see that dude over there? The tinfoil hat? He has a camera for you.
Yeah.
He got you. So that's pretty much the premise of what was discussed. There is essentially them pretty much accepting the fact that aliens do exist. It's just they're trying to figure out what to do about it, and that's not really going too great.
Well, my favorite part is the non-human biologics.
Oh, about the stuff that they found with the
Yep.
But that's also because I've heard some people say things like that could have been like them like flying into like a bird and them having a craft with like.
So yeah, technically, and I think that's why he said it that way. But if you watched the thing, you can see on his face that he's like, they're like, so you found remains that weren't human, and he's like, we found non-human biologics. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what.
If you're picking up what I'm putting down here.
Because like every time they asked him, like the lady was like, "Look, I'm just gonna ask you flat out," and he'd be like, "I can answer that privately."
Yeah.
In the back, if you want to do that.
He's like, "I'm not gonna say that they didn't kill anybody, but I'm not gonna say that they did. But I'm also not gonna say that they didn't."
Ixnay on dub action A. How would be abduction in Pig Latin? Ixnay on.
I don't know Pig Latin, dog.
That's a tough one.
It's. Oh gosh, I don't even know.
Ixnay on duction A. I don't fucking know.
Duction abney.
That's a tough one.
I don't even know.
Duction abney sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds good. That sounds like Pig Latin. Sounds like it's real language, anyways.
That does sound like some good Pig Latin.
Yeah. I took a course. Kidding. It was on Duolingo.
Yeah, I got on Babbel.
Yeah, and that and like was anybody injured between like non-humans or did non-human crafts injure humans or like so whatever they said.
Something like that.
Yeah. And he was like, yes.
He was like, I've been known to know people who may have been dead or alive.
It's like there may
at one time, at another.
There may or may not have been human people who did or did not get injured or are perfectly fine or got injured.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's like, I know people dead and alive.
We all do. It's like, yep.
Next question.
Right.
But yeah, he was very much like hinting, like you could tell in his
Yeah.
face that he was like,
Yeah.
you know, he was giving everybody that big
Hard
old,
as fuck.
that big old wink. Like, I can't technically say,
Yeah.
but, and then he kept calling them non-human. He wouldn't call them aliens because he was like, well, it could be, you know, something from another dimension or like whatever he was saying. And I was like,
Multi-dimensional.
I knew it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, he opened up the floodgates right there.
Yep.
But I'm always weary when situations like this because it's so weird that they would just so openly have this hearing like that. And the way they did it was also awkward, you know, like the way the questions were asked.
Yeah.
Because most of these hearings are really like formal, kind of fucking.
They're dry as
boring,
fuck,
you know,
normally.
It
super
almost
fucking
seemed
dry.
like entertainment.
Yeah, they
You
were
know what I
laughing
mean?
and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were having a good old time. You
So
know?
like, is it a distraction?
Oh, from all the other horrible shit that's going on right now?
Mhm.
Is it an
No.
attempt at a distraction? Perhaps.
It's not like we're in the middle of a political discourse or
Of course not.
half the damn world's at war right
What
now. or
reason would the government have to try to
The
distract
economy's
us?
about to go take another fucking Norm Dumpsky.
That's the twist. Joe Biden is a fucking alien.
I thought he was a
and
lizard person.
He's about to lose like his suit. He can't do it anymore.
Looks like he's about to
pop
shed
out.
something.
Yeah, he's about to transform with some reptilian shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you
they're
know?
lizard people harvesting child blood.
It's called stem cells, and that's
No, it's
below the Denver airport.
No, there is
Allegedly.
a name for it. It's like
It's
adrenaline.
adrenochrome.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what it
The
is.
fuck?
Adrenochrome. Yeah,
The lizard people are harvesting the blood of children for the adrenochrome. You know what? We'll talk to
yeah.
you about it later.
It's the,
All right, so
We'll tell you about it later.
that's why they never released Epstein's guest list.
it's some real earnest, scared, stupid shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like got to
Yes.
scare the children to drink the blood.
And that's the guy. So like that's the
Okay.
the guy. You know the movie the Sound of Freedom.
Yes.
So the guy that movie's based on is the adrenochrome guy.
Wow.
All right, moving on, Deej. You said you got some fucking stories for us.
Yeah, I got some cool stories because we definitely want to talk about the hearing because that was recent and we can't not talk about it. Just had a bunch of opinions and stuff, but I thought it'd be cool to just find some really cool fucking abduction stories because there's countless amounts of sightings. We could fucking,
Oh, yeah.
you can go online and just find videos and articles all fucking day.
There's so many.
There's just too many. And the videos are all, I mean, some of them look different, but they're all pretty much the same. It's a real shitty fucking cell phone footage of
Mm-hmm.
something in the sky, some lights. You know, some of them look pretty cool, especially recently. you
They're
know.
all recorded on like a Super 8 camera. Like,
Yeah, they
Well, yeah, like every time they've seen Bigfoot,
yeah.
the worst possible footage.
like, all right, put your smartphones away. We're gonna get the old Kodak camera out real quick.
Yeah.
And like not even a good one, like the rolling one.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the rolling thing of it. The disposable camera.
We're going to get one of those like kid cameras that came in like a little toy.
Now, before I get to the abduction stories, just because of the sightings, I was like, so like, where typically are these sightings? You know, so I got like, the top 10 states where there are sightings.
Can I take a guess?
Oh,
Yeah, you want to take a guess? Okay, I'll give you a guess for top 3. Number 1, what do you guys got?
I'm gonna go with number one. I'm gonna go New Mexico.
New Mexico. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Wrong.
Really?
Not top
Washington.
3.
It's not like
even top three.
Roswell area?
So
Well,
all
okay,
right.
so I should give you this bit of information. This is based on per capita.
Oh.
So population has an
it's like
effect
no
on
one
this.
lives in New
So-
Mexico.
Who would? It's a fucking desert.
So they
Mostly.
go by reportings, people actually reporting this and per
Mm-hmm.
capita per state. So obviously the bigger the state, more the population, the more likely you're going to get sightings.
Okay, so like what?
Yeah.
California? Texas?
Okay, so you guys want to guess number 2? You want to give it another shot?
Well, I mean, is it California or Texas?
No, none of those.
New York.
Yeah, nope. Not
Oh,
that
actually, no. New York wouldn't make sense.
No.
Too much light pollution.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck you guys up.
Utah?
Arizona.
Yeah, none of those. Yeah. This what? So this is
like New Hampshire or something.
It's actually Indiana.
One list I found was from 2015. California was number 1 and Texas was number 4.
Okay.
But that was from 2015, and that was before all this shit started coming to light. So, of course, it's like a fucking domino effect. The sightings are just going to keep piling up, you know. Number 1 is Washington with 88,000 sightings.
Holy shit.
Per year.
That is a lot.
That's like what they average, you know. Vermont, 87,000.
Doesn't Vermont have a big drug problem?
Sounds like they do.
So,
It's just one of those states.
I was thinking of that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, like I could go a long time without knowing about Vermont, you know.
What is even in Vermont besides aliens and drugs?
Meth. Well, I mean, I'm sorry. That's drugs.
That is drugs. Yeah. Meth is drugs.
I have my answer before you finish asking the question.
Sure did.
Now, another factor about this is sightings that they've seen in group settings. So, like,
yeah, I feel like that's more legit.
Yeah, some of these states are like sightings that were seen by thousands of people. It's all the same sighting and had reported on the same thing.
Okay, yeah, I like those.
So, number 3, we got Montana with 86,000. Alaska, number 4, which that's the one I probably would have.
Yeah, Alaska, that makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of open air up there, a lot of open sky.
Yeah, and they
see
had
some shit.
Not a lot of light pollution.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. 83,000 for them. Maine at number 5, 81,000. New Hampshire, which is at 80,000, number 6. Number 7 is Oregon, 79,000. New Mexico, number 8, 73,000. Average.
What's interesting to me is they all have like sort of similar amounts of sightings.
Yeah, they give like statistics because they're basing this off, like I said, per capita. So they're kind of just giving like vague numbers. Like some of these are like 70, 79 and then a change. I'm just kind of giving like.
Yeah, but like it's just like in between. I mean, like.
Yeah, they are pretty close.
Yeah.
They're all within like 10,000 of each other.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. Idaho, number 9, 67,000. And then Wyoming at number 10. So the most boring fucking states.
Yeah, but they also have the least amount of light pollution in most of those.
Yeah, the most land. Least amount of light pollution. Well, I don't know about the most land, but most of them are open.
Lots of cows to abduct.
Yeah.
Lots of crops to circle.
Indeed.
Yeah, and I thought that was cool because that list kind of caught me off guard. The 2015 list was what I imagined in my head because it was like you guys said, New York, Texas, California, all that shit.
I would have thought it was New Mexico.
And this was...
Yeah, we were on the same page on that one.
Yeah. And this was between, they're averaging from the year 2000 to 2022.
All right.
So that's like kind of where they're like averaging their numbers from there, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, let's get into a fucking story.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
I'm going to do this one first because this one was cool. This one is about an Australian pilot who just disappeared in fucking thin air.
So again, my flying crocodile thing.
Flying crocodiles. Not only does everything kill you in Australia, but the fucking aliens, dude. The Australian aliens?
Oh, that's a good Australian aliens.
All right, Mike. Right,
are you an Australian or are you an alien?
What's this boomerang you have here?
God damn it.
And then they fucking killed him. They did something gnarly to him. Well, actually, we don't know what happened to this guy. This one's actually kind of weird because this is one of the ones I found that didn't have any kind of ending. No physical evidence, but a lot of evidence that's based off radio transmission stuff like that. October 21st, 1978, Australian pilot Frederick Valentich disappeared into thin air. He was basically in like a little fucking Cessna plane, a 182L Cessna. I didn't know it was spelled like that. I thought it was completely different. Wow, that's
interesting.
It's CESSNA.
Okay, yeah, sure, I can get that.
Yeah,
I probably would have.
I was saying it like chestnut, but without the H. It's like how I was saying.
Cessnut.
Okay, so this pilot was 20 years old. He's pretty young. He was an enthusiast of aliens, UFOs, and he was fairly experienced for being pretty young, But he was kind of one of those guys who liked to fly and look at the stars and be like, "I know you're out there.
I want to believe.
I know you're out there." I had to get that out of my system.
Watched a lot of X-Files.
Okay, so he was flying at about 4,500 feet, departing Moorabbin to reach King Island. And then he reported over the radio that he was getting followed by an unidentified flying object. The Melbourne Flight Service insisted that there was no air traffic by him, but he was pretty fucking adamant. He's like, there is a big ass fucking thing behind me.
He's like, help.
Help me, please. And they're like, we just don't see it, buddy.
No, really, guys, I swear.
Right. Help me.
He had described it to him over the radio that it had 4 bright lights. It suddenly passed him 1,000 feet above him at remarkable speed. For about 5 straight minutes, he had been over the intercom describing the shiny metallic exterior of a craft, just doing all this crazy shit around him. Not only that, he was also experiencing engine trouble and malfunctions and hit all of his components and all that stuff. His final words of the transmission when he was communicating with the Melbourne Flight Service was, "It is hovering and it's not an aircraft." And that was the last transmission they got from him. Now, they never heard or found anything from this guy. They never found the plane, never heard from him again. He just completely disappeared, and the last official sound was metallic scraping noise they heard on the radio, which, I mean, it's a fucking radio in 1978. That could have been anything, honestly. But they presumed he was dead and had crashed somewhere in the ocean, It wasn't until about 2014 that a local farmer had came to light, and he basically said that this dude's plane had crashed in his farm during that time, and that he had found the plane. It was leaking oil. It had all kinds of damage to it. It looked kind of burnt, and he had actually found the VIN number off of it. Mm-hmm. And he had never reported it till 2014.
Why not?
A long fucking time. Well, the same reason kind of we discussed before.
Because he didn't.
Yeah, he was just a fucking Australian farmer.
He's like, I'm going to have to fill out some paperwork.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do paperwork. I get it.
I got fucking kangaroo I got to deal with.
No, he's in Australia, man. He has to deal with emus.
Oh, yeah. That's a whole other... Yeah. He's like, we just lost the fucking emu war. Right. We got a lot going on
Been
here.
these emus in the back of my yard for 6 weeks. I can't get rid of them.
That's
do yourself a favor. Go back to listen to our episode about the emu war to get context about what we're talking about here.
So they did some investigation about this, but that also kind of came back inconclusive because the aircraft that he said had the VIN number did not have a VIN number. It was scratched off. It didn't seem similar to the aircraft that would have been flown at that time, the Cessna that he was in. It was a Cessna plane, but they don't think it was the same plane. Mm-hmm.
Every time you say Cessna, I'm thinking Cessnut.
Changed your world forever now.
God damn it.
So ultimately, it could only been like so many options. He could have crashed and they just never found him. He could have purposely disappeared. He just said, "I'm leaving my life behind. I'm gonna leave a cool story." Had his backpack.
Crash this plane.
That's kind of a G thing to do in the 70s. Like, you want to disappear, you save some money. You're like, I'm gonna leave him with a crazy ass story.
Just ask DB Cooper.
Yeah. Fucking A.
Right.
Yeah. We'll have to. That's such a good story.
That
it's
is
so
a
well
good
covered.
story.
We'll have to get to it one day for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because there's been many DB Coopers after him. It's pretty funny. He could have purposely disappeared. But and then there's always the scenario that he was abducted by aliens.
I mean, clearly that's
Australian aliens.
Australians.
Holy shit! Give it to her. Oh fuck!
You heard that. You did, in fact, earn that one.
Wow!
Good job. Good job.
It would have took me weeks to figure that out. Holy
Be here all week.
Please leave my house.
Holy fuck, that's a solid one. But yeah, like I said, that story ended up becoming nothing after it. Even the remains that were from the plane, like I said, shit got real fucky after that. Nothing was proven. Shit was missing. The farmer was pretty fucking old, and I think he was just like, maybe he was trying to look for his shine. His little time in the spotlight. That was.
Either that or was growing weed and a plane landed in his fucking weed farm. It's like, ooh.
Oh boy.
Got ourselves a conundrum here.
What do I do about this one? Okay, so another story. These ones are kind of a little bit more well known, but I thought they were really interesting. You had brought this one up, Randy, so I know you got some stuff on this too. This is the Betty and Barney Hill story, which is
Classic.
really, really fucking cool one. It's kind of like, besides Roswell, this is like the first abduction story that kind of hit the news. This was September 1961. Betty and Barney Hill were driving through the mountains of New Hampshire. They had claimed to see a bright light in the sky that was kind of like flashing them. 2 hours goes by and they wake up or they don't wake up, but 2 hours goes by, they're in their driveway of their home with no memory of like what happened. And then later on, they start recollecting, and according to reports, they had claimed to have traveled to the Zeta, I don't know how to say this right, the Zeta Reticuli, which is a star system 39 light years away from Earth. So Betty says.
Is it reticuli?
Reticuli. Yeah, that sounds right. Is that a real fucking thing?
I don't fucking know.
You're supposed to know everything.
Sorry,
My bad. Like I was reading something that made me like, what the fuck? And then you asked the question like, what the fuck?
I don't know that.
So my bad. I was like reading a text message and it responded. My bad. All right. What was it?
That's what you get for texting during the podcast.
It happens.
We'll have to look that up. It's called the Zeta. How did you pronounce it?
Reticuli.
Reticuli.
Okay. You're wondering if that's like a real location?
Yeah, if that's something that they may have found. So Betty was real adamant about that, so much that she had even drawn a detailed map of the sky as seen from that star.
Yes, it is actually a real thing.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's insane. So that makes sense, too, that she had actually drawn this picture that was actually pretty fucking identical to it. And like I said, this was like, that's kind of like a brief overview of the story. This was like one of the first big abduction cases that like caught the news, dude. They got all kinds of attention from this, and then people were coming out of the woodwork saying, I saw that light too, you know, all types of other shit. And it's the fucking 60s, dude. When was Roswell? That was the 50s, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so like it's probably still like a hot fucking thing, you know, a topic at that time.
Yeah.
Especially for that year.
And there was, I remember there was a whole thing too about them. People thought that they were like activists because they were an interracial couple, so they were trying to like get attention for that or whatever.
Yeah.
And
can't have nothing nice.
I know it was just like a reason to discredit them, I think.
Yeah, and that sucks too because back then I imagine like anybody of like color who was coming out with a story like that was just going to get shit on automatically. You know, just get picked apart, no matter how real their story may have seemed or been. You know. Yeah, that's a pretty cool one. The information on that is there's a lot. There's like quite a few like documentaries, and I think there's actually a movie that they made.
Yeah, they were also kind of in a season of American Horror Story. They did a little bit.
Oh, were they really?
Yeah,
I've never
they
watched
did like
American
a
Horror
weird. Really?
Yeah, I've never seen it.
God, you guys need to like shit. There was like it was like a weird subplot of a season. It was like a season about something completely different, and then they had this subplot of Betty and Barney Hill.
Oh, wow. That's pretty fucking cool, though.
Yeah, and then I think like afterwards, they had dreams. They were having dreams of all these like entities, like experimenting on them, and
yeah,
and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's also kind of crazy too, because like,
and that happens a lot in a lot of these encounter stories.
Yeah, there's like dreams or some type of like rashes or scratches or some type of like punctures that people are left with when they claim to be abducted, or you know, like we talked about the movie The Fourth Kind that was kind of based on a real story. Fire in the Sky, that was another movie. This guy's claim of getting abducted and just getting fucking just brutally worked on and tortured for however long he was gone. You know, yeah, pretty crazy. This is another little fucking quick story because, like I said, right after this there was like all kinds of other stories just coming out of the woodwork. Like it seemed like rapid fire. 1971, there was the Pascagoula incident, which allegedly saw two fishermen taken from a riverbank in Mississippi and held captive aboard an alien ship. And then 1978, I don't have the information on this. Brandy might have some stuff with Travis Walton abduction.
Oh yeah,
which is what Texas man who vanished for a whole 5 fucking days.
Yeah, he was a logger, and he and 6 other guys, I think, or maybe there were 6 total, maybe there was 5 other guys, but they were like his coworkers, and they had been logging for like a weekend, and then they were on their way home, and they saw like a big bright light. Right, they were all in this truck together, and then they stopped, and Travis got out to go like investigate what this light was, and supposedly it blew him back, like it blew his whole body back. It like the light like hit him somehow, and they saw him like fly through the air, and they were like, "Deuces, we're out of here. Peace. Good luck to you." And they left him, and then he was missing for like 5 days, and they brought, the sheriff up there, and they were looking for him and all this stuff. And these guys were really freaked out because they didn't know what they saw. And then 5 days later, he comes back and he's like, guys, you won't believe what the fuck just happened to me.
Like, first and foremost, fuck y'all for leaving me.
Yeah.
Like, let's address the issue first.
Okay, so this is the story of Fire in the Sky.
Oh, really?
Yes, this
Okay.
is the story of Fire in the Sky. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is
Yeah.
yeah. That's why he was like, "What the fuck, guys?"
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Oh, yeah, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
that makes
Like, how dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The audacity.
But like he has some very detailed accounts of like his experience
Yeah.
when he was like aboard the alien spacecraft or whatever.
Yeah, if you ever watch that movie, if you guys haven't, I highly recommend it. Warning though, it's a little rough to watch some of the scenes because they do some gnarly shit with his eyeballs and all types of crazy shit. He maintained that story for like a long ass fucking time.
He still maintains it. Yeah. He if you watch interviews with him, he's this very like soft-spoken guy. Like he almost seems like he's like timid, like he doesn't really want to talk about it.
He don't raise his voice no more.
Yeah. He's like did some stuff to me. I really didn't like it. And then like people always try to call him out. They're like, "Are you making this up for attention?" And he's like, God, I wish I was.
We should probably not laugh as opposed to pain like that, but damn.
Tears draining down his
Jeez.
It's awful. It's awful. He was also on, I already forgot the name of the show. I looked it up. Moment of Truth.
Okay.
He was on Moment of Truth where they hooked him up to a lie detector test. And I think he passed. I don't exactly remember. But they also had another guy, I think one of the guys who was with him in the truck, also on the show. And one of the questions they asked him was like, do you wish that it was you who was abducted instead or something? And the guy was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why did you abandon your friend?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
You dickhead.
But they like defended him. A lot of them defended him too. And they were like, no, this actually happened. We saw it.
Yeah.
So,
And this was another one of those cases where there was a little bit of somewhat, you could argue, that physical evidence left behind, which is pretty cool because the area where he said they had landed, they had basically went back to investigate the area and found that the fiber in the wood was like growing at like an insane rate. So all of the green, like the lush area was growing like rapidly.
yeah, wasn't it like radioactive or something too?
Yeah. It was 36 times greater than what it usually would be. I don't know what the
The Geiger counter.
What base radiation would be, yeah.
Yeah. And this was like, I don't know how long afterwards they went to investigate this. This might have even been like years later that they checked it out. But yeah, that was like kind of some kind of a trace of something for the fucking guy, for him just not to have this horrible story.
Yeah.
Nothing to show for it. But it kind of sucks. Like it's kind of like the premise of this. Like even when people tell shit about it, like they just get shit on.
Yeah.
Their whole fucking life.
Yeah, he definitely does. He gets shit on like crazy. Like people, there have been so many interviews that I've seen with him where they bring him on to their show and they're like, so tell us about the aliens. And he tells his story and they're like, haha, you're stupid.
Fucking idiot.
And he's like, I thought you wanted to talk about the aliens.
Yeah. And not only was, like you said, he did the polygraph test and passed that, like, he had passed any kind of test they gave him, like, when they were trying to investigate it. The guys that saw it, same with them.
Yeah, they, like, put him under hypnosis and, like, all this other stuff. He went and saw psychologists. And he, like, I don't know, he just seems like a sad guy who really went through it, you know? And also what's weird is, like, I think he was, like, wearing his same clothes when they found him, and he wasn't, like, dirty or like, because he was in the woods, he was like in the mountains or whatever, and if he had just been like chilling out there in the woods for 5 days, he would have been probably a little disheveled, but like he wasn't, he was totally fine.
I was just thinking
he just had like some prick marks on his body.
I'm thinking like the aliens were done with him on day 5 and they just threw a towel at him. They're like, go fucking clean yourself up. Like, get out of my sight.
They throw like $50 at him.
They get some money.
Remember, we don't pay you to come, we pay you to leave.
Called you a taxi.
That was the worst I ever had.
Bring the cows.
At least, yeah. Get the cows back
Travis
here.
is just crying.
Oh, you loved me. Okay, so this last story, I was saving this for last because this is my favorite one. This is, of all the stories I've read about, this one's like got probably the most witnesses that were interviewed. It's not really a lot of physical evidence, but there's no there's no end to it. Nobody knows what fucking happened, you know. So this is in Zimbabwe, 1994.
This one's my favorite too.
Yeah, really cool fucking story. September 1994, it was aerial school in Ruwa, Zimbabwe. 62 students had claimed to have witnessed a UFO descend from the sky into a field nearby the school. At the time, these kids were on like a recess, and I think we talked about this earlier about the age range of these kids. This was probably some type of like elementary, middle school kind of mixture, you know, a bunch of grades mixed in together. And these kids were, these weren't like poor kids. These were a very diverse like group of children. They came from like rich families that were sent to this aerial, school in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, a lot of their families were like ambassadors and government officials and like people who were really high ranking in the area, are very like important people.
Yeah, so they weren't just, poor fucking kids out there, just going to school. So these kids all had seen this shiny silver flying object land near the school. So these children had ran towards the edge of the school premises to get closer to it, to where they had some pretty outrageous fucking claims. These kids had claimed to have seen this spaceship land. Beings, creatures, whatever you want to call it, had leaving the airship and actually communicating with some of these kids telepathically, telling them kind of what the typical shit you always hear about alien stories. You guys, yeah, you guys are fucking up the world. You got to stop doing this. Stop with the bombs and the oil and shit.
Yeah, it was like an environmental message.
Yeah,
like, you are the children. You must save the world.
Well, the future, the kids are like, I think you got the wrong place.
Right. But it tells somebody that cares.
Like, bro, we didn't even got clean water in this motherfucker. Like, what the fuck?
Well, you said they were rich kids. I'm sure they had clean water.
Yeah, that's true.
They did. Our neighbors, though, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
So this went on for like 15 minutes, the kids is basically described. So the kids get back done from recess, and mind you, none of the teachers or anything were outside to witness this. These kids were just outside doing their fucking thing.
Oh, willy-nilly? Damn.
Teachers inside having a smoke, smoking a bowl, doing a bump, whatever they got to do to get through the fucking day,
All these damn kids.
And that's okay. Do what you got to do. So they tell the teachers about this story, and the teachers are basically like, that's cute. Cute story, kids. We'll see you tomorrow, Didn't fucking believe them. Because, who fucking would? Your class is like, we saw aliens. You go outside, and you're like,
son of a bitch.
Well, it was like all of them, not all of them, but like most of the kids saw the aliens like at the same time, and they all started yelling for each other, and they're like, oh my gosh, come here, come look at this. And so like all the kids go rushing down into this like field where they saw the aliens, and so they're all like freaking out about it, and then some of them run inside. They're like, there's aliens, and teachers are like, okay, sweetie,
like, yeah, that's cute.
Go play. I know your parents are getting divorced,
go
but
play with the aliens.
Jeez.
Go play with the aliens.
They're not in America.
They're rich old parents. It could be still true. Okay, so they told the teachers this story. Teachers like, I don't give a fuck about that. I'll see you tomorrow. Kids go home. They tell their parents, and the parents are like, this is odd, let's talk to the school about it. They talk to the school. The school's like, okay, obviously we got to have some kind of meeting about this. We got to, something happened, So they get the head teacher at the time. They got all these kids together, and they had a paranormal investigator. What is this Larry's name? Something Hind. It was like Marie Hind or something like that.
It was just like a psychic. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, she was a local UFO investigator, but she was also into like hypnosis and weird shit like that, So when she heard about this, she was like, right away, let me talk to these fucking kids, So she had basically, at first she was talking to these kids, interviewing them individually. And mind you, there's 62 of them. And she was asking them, to recall their accounts. Everybody had the same story. Silver, shiny, disc-like object with some lights on it, alien craft coming out, telepathy, all that shit. All the same fucking story.
Little gray guys.
Yeah.
They all look the same, kind of the typical alien description.
Yeah, the big eyeballs, big head, all that shit.
Yeah.
And then she had them draw pictures, and most of these pictures were pretty similar. Same scenario. These kids were pretty fucking spot on.
Yeah, they had them all, like, they separated them and had them draw these pictures, like, independently from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And they all kind of pretty much drew the same thing, which is wild.
Yeah, and that's a lot, you know. And you could argue these, like I said, these are kids in a big age group. Give it 10 years, somewhere between that. You know, they're anywhere from, I don't know, ages 6 to 16, let's say that, you know, something like that. So you can kind of say maybe these kids were just young and just making up stories, but 62 of them,
Yeah.
that's quite a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So
To keep a story straight. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So Heinz, which
And, like,
was
I don't know if you guys have ever, like, played games like Chinese telephone with little kids, but, like, shit gets real weird real fast. Like, you can like do the Chinese telephone with a kid and be like, I like to walk my dog. And then by the time it gets to the third kid, it's like, I eat potatoes 20 times a day. And you're like, what? Where did you get that?
But
What
the
do you-
fifth kid's like, my parents get a divorce. Son of a bitch.
I have two mommies. Whoa.
Like, all right, dude.
Okay.
It's cool.
But it's like kids can't keep shit straight like that.
No.
They just don't.
No,
It's
they're
like,
brutally honest and also brutally stupid
if
at
they're
the
making
same damn
some-
time.
Yeah, if they're like making something up, it's pretty easy to call them on it.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
like my mommy brushes her teeth with my daddy's penis. Interesting.
My daddy likes my babysitter a lot.
Heinz probably found out way more than she wanted to know.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like there's whether like the Kids to the Darndest Thing TV show was over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And this is
how
kind
I had
of
it.
this is kind of where the story gets like a little sour because Heinz had kind of went to measures to like kind of like people might say coerce these kids into saying that this was true because she was using some like unethical ways of trying to get the information like hypnotherapy, like you said before, things like that. And then like we talked about that earlier, some kids are just really looking to please the adults, so they'll kind of say anything. So you can give it that, you know, and that's cool.
Yeah, like it could, like one of the theories was like some of the older kids said that they saw it, and so they were like the younger kids were looking up to the older kids, and so they were trying to make them happy,
Yeah,
or like whatever.
yeah.
That was, you know, one of the theories like skeptics like
Yeah.
to talk about.
And these kids, this eventually made the news, you know, because Heinz was pushing it. She was like, "We got something." They went on the BBC. I think 2 of the kids went on the BBC to kind of recall their story. And then it just kind of gets left dry for a little bit after that. But a lot of people kept going back to that area, of course, to try to figure out what's going on, get some evidence of where the shit may have landed, things like that, you know. These kids held their story for a long time because they were interviewed years later. A couple of these kids were interviewed later when they were in like their 30s or 40s, still telling the same story, the same ship. 30, 40 years later, still everything's really fucking accurate and documented.
Yeah, like they're not taking it back. They're not like, oh yeah, I made that up.
Yeah,
Or like whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, still sticking to it, which is kind of cool, you know, because like they all said the same thing, and I like even if it's kids lying, this or that, to get 62 kids to agree on that is pretty. Like they had to have been spooked. I think regardless, even if it was aliens or not, they saw something.
Well, they said like in one of the interviews, I think one of the older kids said that the little kids were crying because they were scared.
Yeah.
So like.
I could see that happening
Yeah,
for sure.
So like it wasn't like, oh, let's just make up this fun game. It was like something actually happened that upset these kids.
Man, it's a good thing there's no like bully on the yard that day.
Yeah.
Force a kid to fucking walk up there. It's a good thing.
It would have been 61 kids.
Bet
or
you
60
won't-
kids.
Bet you won't touch it. Bet you won't touch the aliens.
Yeah, bet you. I bet you won't. Yeah.
Jeez, man.
And this is my fucking favorite one, just because there was no resolution to it.
Yeah.
It just
And
kinda-
it's kids too. It's
Yeah.
like, you know.
Yeah, you know, it's like besides there being like a lack of evidence, it's like what is it, like the Peter Pan kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like it's really fun to believe that's what happened.
Yeah.
And it's even scarier to think that these kids all agreed that was a fun idea.
I know.
Right.
Like, and maintained it for 20 plus years,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, for a long ass fucking time, you know. But that's my absolute favorite one, and there was a lot. There was so many like old stories.
Oh, yeah.
Another one we'll give an honorable mention was the Battle of L.A. You guys might have heard about this story. I got to look up the year that this was real quick.
It was during World War II.
Yeah, it was a little bit after World War II. I'm not exactly sure on the year, but the Battle of LA was on the fucking news, because there was an attack on LA. Some firefighting action, a lot of speculation to what it could be. The news lines, if you read the newspaper, it literally says Battle of LA. It looks like a fucking picture that's like quite literally in a war going on in the fucking sky,
February 25th, 1942.
Okay.
Oh, so it was the beginning of the war.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
It was like shortly after Pearl Harbor, and that's why I think a lot of people were like freaking out about it because they initially thought that it was another attack from the Japanese.
They thought it was the Japanese were on the water, had some ships, and just started fucking blasting.
Yeah, so there was like the air raid sirens started going off, and they blacked out the entire city, as you do in war times. And then they just like started shooting at whatever this was because they tracked it. There was something there. There was something. It wasn't like they were just seeing vapor or whatever.
Yeah.
So they tracked it on radar, and then they started like shooting the living shit out of it. And then apparently nothing happened.
Hell
They
yeah.
didn't recover anything.
Like, that's the reason they did the program where they were like, we got to have a protocol when we see these fucking UFOs. We just can't start shooting these fucking things.
Yeah.
yeah, because you'll declare a war on a species that can destroy us.
Yeah.
It's not the best idea, really. It's not a good move,
Yeah.
I would say.
And the pictures are pretty eerie, too. People say it's been heavily modified over the years, and that was kind of my assumption. But even so, like you said, there's definitely something in there. There's been arguments. It was Japanese military. It was a weather balloon. It was some type of advanced military plane that another country had that we weren't prepared for.
Also, it was like a civilian plane, or it was like,
Yeah,
something.
some fucking kamikaze shit,
But like they never reported anything being recovered. So whatever it was somehow never was found,
Yeah, that's another thing. The lack
which
of
is
fucking
very
evidence.
strange.
Yeah,
If it was a plane or something, there would have been. They shot it down,
Yeah.
clearly, whatever it was. So
Yeah, something. And it's not like it was like way the fuck out there. It was
Yeah.
kind of like on shore, Yeah, we'll have to post that picture online. It looks pretty fucking.
oh yeah,
Pretty
we'll
fucking epic.
post it.
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
Can I just say that like Aliens was the first like deep dive me and you ever got into
Yeah, it
way
was.
back in the day.
Yeah, we were fucking drinking on a boat at
Yeah.
like 2 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how it started. I don't remember if I said something or somebody said like the word alien.
We were just like really high, I think, and we were both just like, you know what, aliens.
Hell yeah.
And then someone else who was on the boat got mad at us. They're like, "Oh, shut up! We don't want to hear about aliens."
Like, you shut up.
You weak-minded. Get out of here.
And that's when we knew we were kindred spirits.
Yeah, we linked up. We were simpatico after that. I did have a question for today, and I was wondering your guys' answer for this. If given the opportunity, would you have sexual relations with an alien?
How did I not see this question coming?
Yes.
Would I know what would happen to me afterwards?
Yeah, follow-up question. How hot is this alien?
Okay, so I got
Two follow-up questions here.
I got some notes on this.
Okay.
Oh, why?
Yeah.
Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I realized I was asking a stupid question right there.
So number one, right? If aliens are advanced, I would assume they probably figured out a way to modify their genitals in the most outstanding fashion.
To
Well, why
modify
would
their
they?
genitals.
Because they fucking. And we
Well,
fucking right.
They're just trying to get some
But-
strange.
Oh, well, fair enough.
There ain't
Some
no,
extraterrestrial
there ain't no
strange.
micro penises in the sky. There ain't no fucking hallways, no hot dogs down the hallways in space.
That'd be nice. Sounds wonderful, actually.
Yes, exactly. So what's to say if they can fly a spaceship? I mean, we've been trying to figure out how to fucking make our dicks bigger for hundreds of years.
It's like just the one thing that the aliens still can't figure
They just
out.
haven't got it.
They figured out like time travel,
Yeah.
like interdimensional travel.
Yeah, because there's nothing to say that they reproduce the same way that we do either. I mean, the point of science is for
Yeah,
reproduction.
it
I mean,
could be
That's
like
it.
that weird Avatar tail thing.
yeah. See,
That was my thing. I was like, what if like an alien dick is really fucking weird looking?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Like pronged.
yeah.
oh, like a fucking duck dick, or
Yeah.
what is that?
Or like a cat penis. Did you know about a cat
the barb.
penis?
Yeah,
Isn't that messed up?
a little bit.
Wild.
God damn.
Or like a turtle dick where it just kind of just.
Yeah.
Or like, doesn't some animal have a corkscrew shaped?
Pretty sure it's a duck.
Is it a duck?
That's
I think so.
unfortunate.
Okay. Yeah.
Every time
It's
it
either
gets
duck or
boners, it's
geese.
like, this is painful.
That's
the
the
whole
sound they
fucking
make,
time. Just, oh,
Yeah, about
God.
that.
Like, okay, so I had ducks. I don't know if you've ever seen duck mating situations, but it's basically like the male duck holds the female duck down by her neck and like bites the crap out of her
Jesus
the entire
Christ.
time. It's brutal. It's brutal.
From experience, some women like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the
I
girl
was like,
ducks.
Deej.
I think the girl ducks might be
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
into
yeah,
it,
yeah.
but whatever.
Yeah.
Y'all are crazy.
As long as it's consensual.
Y'all are wild out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, gotta put that part in there because we ain't on that
say.
bullshit over here.
No. Consent is important.
It's the most important, really. Anyways, back to this whole alien
ducks.
thing.
Yeah, see, now I had a conversation with somebody about this, and this is what made me bring it up. And they were like, well, what if their genitals were just like Play-Doh? Like, you could just form it perfectly to like whatever,
So,
you
Seems
know.
like a lot of work.
so if you look at like, for example, like, you know, I'm a big gamer and shit. So the Mass Effect universe where the Asari aliens can do either any species can mate with them, literally any species, and that's how they survive is because they take the best traits from every species and improve their own with it.
They would definitely wouldn't pick me then.
Yeah, it's more of like a species thing than a person
Yeah,
thing.
we're like a side chick to them, dude.
Yeah.
Because they also live for like thousands of years.
Yeah, they were just
They're like,
So, like-
we're wearing a condom with these guys.
Yeah, it's funny because when they reproduce, their babies always look like them. So they're more of a female shaped species, but like they can breed with anybody. They don't have a male or
rude.
female role.
Dad is like, I can't wait for our baby to look like me.
No, dog. Ain't like that. So that's my first thought was that. But that also makes sense to improve their species with
Yeah.
everything else around the galaxy. But at the same time, though, yeah, I don't know, man. I really need to like do some research. Like, what's it look like? Will it kill me?
Here's another argument. Now, this is something else that was brought up because the person was like, what if it looked like a fucking praying mantis, but it gave you like the best fucking head of your life? Like, it just sucked.
Do you know what praying mantises do after intercourse?
I'm just saying, hear me out. I'm just saying it looked in the shape, but what if it was able to do that? Like, what
I
if,
feel like
what
we're
if
not-
it's a situation they were like telepathy? They could like make you see what you wanted, but
See,
I
I
feel
feel
like
like
we're
this is
not
a conversation for like our like after hours podcast.
We're not thinking far enough into the future with this one.
I really think that we're like we need to save this conversation for the when we start
This should be on-
our
This
Patreon.
should be on the Patreon.
Yeah, I agree with that.
it's a
This
pretty big
conversation
one.
is a little bit it's gonna get a little little gritty
because my next question would have been about gay aliens.
for our hold
Okay, put a pin in
put a pin in
this,
this.
and we'll come back to it.
Oh yeah, I had
Yeah.
quite a lot of questions for this too, so we can do.
Yeah, hold put a pin on that. That's for
That's for the Patreon.
that's for the Patreon page when we come up with that. We are making another page at some point. Once we get we have another milestone at first, but we're gonna get another fan page going, and it's gonna be like more of this type of. So if you like what you're hearing,
Yeah.
stay tuned for that.
If you like hearing about mantis penises or whatever the hell.
some mantis top right there.
Yeah, because I was gonna go deeper though. Like I can't. This is we're not a
is gonna
family.
get-
We're not a family podcast for fucking sure. We say the word
It's gonna
fuck too
get
much.
real weird.
We-
But
we
like,
definitely
but
not.
still, there's still limits that we don't cross. Like,
Yeah.
we're about to cross all of those if we consider this
We're
conversation.
about to cross some motherfucking lines here.
Yeah, so let's not. Let's wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah.
Actually, we're at an hour and a half, anyways.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Yeah, that's my thing. You know what? In my
Yeah, get out of
opinion,
my house. I gotta work in the morning. Like,
So do I, bro.
in my opinion, this
There you go.
this alien shit. The reason they haven't came down, they got anxiety. It's mental health issues. They're shy.
Alien.
I feel like if you travel across the galaxy, you can't have anxiety.
Yeah, they got here and they got nervous.
They got here and they saw Earth and they're like, I don't want to go
This
over
is
there.
ghetto.
They seem mean.
I got catfish.
It's just ghetto.
I love that TikTok that's like, girl, you been to Earth lately? And the other one's like, she's like, I don't go there no more. It's real dangerous. And she's like, yeah, but they got some real cute spots to eat though. She's like, it's ghetto down there now.
It's true. Shit is ghetto down here for sure. As always, we do appreciate you guys for giving us a listen. I got to give a quick shout out though, because it's for people that have been around since the day one. We talked about that earlier. Dude, Lexi and Diamond, their birthdays is today.
Oh, we got double
Yeah,
birthdays
happy
today.
birthday, Lexi and Diamond.
And D. Yeah, I appreciate y'all for listening to us since the jump.
Yeah.
And they're two of my closest friends. So, you know, shout out to y'all.
Yeah, happy birthday.
You make it to the internet. The internet now knows your birthday. You're welcome, I guess. Anywho, so we appreciate you guys listening to us. We appreciate everybody listening to us. As per usual, give us a like and share. We, of course, do have our social medias on part of our link tree. So keep an eye out for that. We do post that at all times. We're just at Required Taste on all of your social media. So at Required Taste Podcast on all of your social medias. We also have merch on Etsy, so check that out. And give us a like and follow, give us a share. You know, we appreciate the ratings. We're being followed by way more people than I thought, so that's pretty tight. Again, we've hit over 5K streams so far, so that's pretty cool. Well, 5,100 streams so far, so that's really cool. So thank you all for that. We've been here a little over a year, and I think that's pretty great. So thank you all for that. And we'll be back next week with more weirdness. Not that kind of weirdness, but more good stuff. So we got some good stuff coming up in the future.
We'll
So
rein it in a little bit next time.
I mean, you know, this is the first time you're back. You're supposed to be the responsible one.
I'm sorry. It's been a week.
It's Monday.
It's been a week.
Yeah, you disappeared and I slept for 4 days straight.
Yeah. It's been a time.
Hell yeah. Anyways, of course, like I said, thank you. And we'll be back next week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.